Hello there, I'm Sarish Kasat, the General Manager at Admissionado. Admissionado is an admissions consulting company that helps students get admitted to elite undergraduate and graduate schools around the world. Today, I'm here with Raj Patil, one of the co-founders of Admissionado. Raj recently gave a talk to a group of highly motivated and ambitious students and parents in Portland, Oregon. The audience's ears perked up when Raj started to talk about taking risks in application essays. Let's kick it off. Mr. Raj, happy Friday.
How's it going?
Not bad, man. I'm actually spending a little bit of time in Nashville. You've been here before?
That's not the one with Elvis, is it? Is that Memphis?
That would be Memphis. That is Graceland. Not too far away though. Only actually, yeah. Go ahead.
Actually, I have been in Nashville. I flew in once to hang out with some college friends. One of whom was actually my co-founder, John Frank, and we.
Oh, you both have been down here.
Yeah, we rented a cabin or a house by the lake kind of thing. Maybe an hour outside of Nashville, like in the dead of winter. It was pretty cool. It was pretty quiet. It was in the sticks, so we didn't really get a sense of Nashville at all.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did you choose Nashville to fly into if you're going to do a trip like that?
It was sort of the center of the city of Nashville was between L.A., Chicago, New York, and D.C. It was the one city that happened to have direct flights from each of those points.
Nice.
And it was interesting and different. That was kind of our inspiration. But yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I've been just down here for a couple of days with my folks, and it's been good. It's quite a bit hotter than Chicago, so I'm looking forward to getting back. But it's it's been a good time.
Nice.
Always enjoy being down here.
Cool.
But hey, I wanted to talk to you about the talk you gave. It was a couple weeks ago now, right?
Yep.
Nice. And it was where? Where were you again?
I was in Portland, Oregon.
Nice. I have not been to Portland yet either, but that's for a different discussion. But what was generally the audience like? Who were you talking to out there?
These were parents of extremely enterprising and motivated high school students. I think the majority of the folks in the room were parents of younger kids, 9th, 10th, and 11th graders. So not necessarily seniors. So on the one hand, they're ahead of the game in all sorts of respects. Just A, to be in that room at all, to listen to college admissions, but also B, to be doing something interesting. It was an organization for entrepreneurs or budding entrepreneurs, future entrepreneurs. And so the fact that they are involved in something that interesting, that early, is a great sign, not just for their college applications, but for life. They all seemed like they were there for reasons other than padding their future resume, that they all were genuinely interested in what they were doing, and it really showed in the work and in the eyes of the students that I had the fortune of speaking with. There was a fire there, which was very, very neat to see. It's not always the case. There's sometimes the student that you meet that looks a little bit pulled in a variety of directions. They're stressed with school, and sometimes they go through the motions and engage in things because they feel like they need to. This is different. These guys are there because they really wanted to, which is very cool to see.
How could you tell? I always wonder that because there's a lot of organizations out there, right, that cater to high achieving students, but it's tough at times to tell if the kid's there because they want, like, just like you said, they want to pad their college resume versus they're there because they find the topic, in this case, entrepreneurship, just very engaging and very, very near and dear to them in a certain sense. How'd you feel that?
It's an amazing question because it actually conveniently ties to college admissions. The way that you can tell is you can just tell. It is definitely not something you can put into a test tube and analyze. When you talk to someone, there's a genuineness, there is a glint in the eye, there's an affect, there is a physical affect that that you can't fake. How do you? I wish there were, if there were a formula for trying to manufacture it, it would probably go something like pursue things that you have a genuine interest in, and then it's that much easier to not need to fake it because your interest is genuine. Whereas when students are doing something because they need to, there's something that it would take an incredible actor to present oneself in a way that actually betrays an inner lack of interest. So there's usually a dullness, or a student is kind of looking away, or they seem like they don't want to be there. And this is actually the reason I likened it to college applications is when students write essays, there's this vapor that can come across that has nothing to do with, it's not scientifically replicatable. You can't pick a topic and you can't practice to write in a certain way, but there is something that can leap off a page that announces to the reader that this kid has a certain nature of intelligence, a certain type of perspective, or a certain type of voice. The same is true when you meet someone. You can kind of tell when they are there because they want to be there or not. I think that's the reason interviews for jobs are so crucial. You can tell only a certain amount looking at a resume when someone has been flattened into 2 dimensions, but when they are in the room across from you, you can pick up on all sorts of cues that are impossible to convey otherwise.
Now I want to dig into that a little bit more, actually.
Yeah.
Were there parents in the room too, or was it just the kids?
Actually, mostly parents. So there were
Really?
the kids were the exceptions. I think they were, they were there for those who were there. I should say they didn't need to be there, so it was they were there because they really wanted to be there, which is very
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
No, so I mean, then from the parents' perspective too, you talked a little bit about the student themselves, and showing that genuine fire, the genuine, the vapor that you catch, not only from them being in the room, but in college essays, and those same people that will be writing college essays down the line. Where do the parents come into this with that whole aura of genuine interest? Because we both came from backgrounds that traditionally have parents that are very, very active in their children's lives in terms of pushing them to do certain types of activities. And so, do you feel like these parents that were in the room were not those types of parents that necessarily pushed them, and that's why they were so genuine? That's why the students came off so genuinely to you?
Well, there was a mix. I should say that of the students that I talked to, all the students that I happened to talk to were there with seemingly a genuine passion for the particular activity that was kind of the theme of the weekend. Now, when speaking to the parents and addressing a broader conversation of college applications, there was a mix of parents who seemed to really embrace that idea that when a student is pursuing things that they're passionate in, that there's a higher likelihood of excelling in a way, both excelling and engaging in a way that will be meaningful to admissions committees, that will be meaningful toward their chances of admission. And there were other parents that were a little bit more resistant to that idea, who were following, I think, a slightly more traditional model of understanding the expectations that they believe are requisite for admission to a certain school, and then retrofitting the student's path into it, which was hard to try and disentangle. I didn't have, hours and hours to spend to make an argument for why that should be the case, but I could see that there were some on kind of either side of the line.